The story of the sound of the nightingale. Let's be honest, we hate the meme, right? Let's just dive in. Once upon a time in Baghdad, during the rule of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, there was a super smart poet named Al-Asma'i. The Caliph loved poetry and used to challenge poets in his palace with games and prizes. One day he stood up and said, "Whoever recites a poem that neither I nor anyone in my court has ever heard before, I will give them their weight in gold. But if we have heard it, they'll be punished." Everyone got nervous, because the Caliph's court was full of genius scholars who memorized thousands of poems. So how could anyone say something new? The clever plan. But Al-Asma'i had a sneaky idea. He disguised himself as a Bedouin from the desert, covered his face with a scarf, and wrote a poem that was so weird, so fast, and so full of random sounds, no one could understand it or memorize it. It went like, Sot Safir al-Bulbul, Hayaj Kalbi al-Thamel, Top Toba Top Top Toba Top, Ran 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 Ran. It was full of animal noises, made-up words, and rhyming gibberish. The performance. He walked into the palace in disguise and said, "Ye Caliph, I have a poem from the deep desert, no one has heard it." The Caliph smirked, "Let's hear it." Then Al-Asma'i started reading the poem super fast, bouncing between rhymes and strange words, and the audience was like, no one understood it. No one could repeat even one line. So the Caliph looked around and asked, "Has anyone heard this before?" Everyone shook their heads. "Nope." The gold. The Caliph laughed and said, "All right, give this man his weight in gold." At that moment, Al-Asma'i took off his disguise and said, "It's me, Al-Asma'i." Everyone gasped. The very scholar the Caliph trusted the most fooled them all.